Hello everyone and welcome back to Traffic Jams in Transport Fever 2, where in the last episode we built this highway, and if it wasn't entirely predictable, it has increased traffic congestion on roads across over the highway. I've done a bit of fiddling with junctions, lanes, slip roads, whatever. I think it's on the downward, but honestly, yeah, if it wasn't already predictable that we were going to cause some traffic congestion. In this episode, I think we'll probably expand the highway system a bit, but at the same time, I think we might also try to look at improving bus lines, because there's like large areas of towns, like if you look at this part of Money on the Sea here towards the top right now, which is actually the east, which is just not covered by public transport. So what they're going to do, they're going to drive. There are places like this in loads of towns where, like, yeah, people have to drive. So we're going to try to work with that in this episode. You know, this was congested like literally a couple of minutes ago. I've cleared it, but we could do with some sort of junction to go north, and it is a bit cramped here because I think doing something up into this area is totally necessary if we're going to get a road to anywhere. I mean, Cashbury's basically the biggest urban area on the map, particularly given it's now creeping ever closer to Moneyopolis. Yeah, no, now the drive between Cashbury and Moneyopolis does not take you on any rural roads, and traffic congestion here. Even notice this, we really need to look this whole area here without a bus line or anything. Let's do a bit of highway expansion, but yeah, let's have a look at bus lines as well. So we are going to want to do something. One place I've recognised that we could do something is if we did a junction that kind of then went through here. So if we did a little trumpet here, we could use this. That's the grade separation. Kind of natural grade separation, and then we'll loop it round this way, I think. Just slightly more space and slightly less elevation change. Actually quite a lot less elevation change. Okay, let's wait for the autosave. Here we go, and if we just do the loop, do the parallel, and then do it like this, and then get something to bend off here. It's a bit of a tight angle, whatever. And there we go. But I really don't like that bend. Are we able to make it any better? That's slightly better. Right, now this is going to be quite tight. Let's get this down in time. And that has to go to double lanes. Oops, have I just messed that up a bit by... Can we select that point there? Yes, we can. So if we go to there, then we can go to there. We can also swing round here, but yeah, the slope is a little bit of an issue. But there we go. There's a junction, and it's for now 2 lanes. What we can do is we can pick up an extra lane with a junction here. Because, oh my gosh, look at this traffic. So yeah, if we I think went under this one, this elevation change is going to be a bit crazy, but whatever. And then let's just go into 3 lanes now. There we go. We just get lane off there, lane on there. If they want to go the other direction, they've got the junction here. And hopefully a little bit of pressure will be taken off this junction because this bit exists. And hopefully it's still quicker for them to stay on the highway, swing round this way, rather than going around this road. Because if it's quicker to go around this road, then we're not going to see the end of this traffic. Alright, it's then a game of working out. I think we want to be on the other side of the railway line. So if we use the, I'm pressing the N key here, not the M key. I want to press the M key. Also get a long enough bridge that the road in the other direction might be able to follow it round. I've just realised that's not the correct type of road. Whoops. Also, I've just realised I'm not doing this on player ownership. Okay, actually it might be, but it's always a good idea to do highways on player ownership, because otherwise the AI can come along, connect some random urban roads to it, to turn it into an urban road, to take away the speed limit. Yeah, you just want to... Yeah, actually, maybe I'll do the faster road just to make sure that... Actually, no, let's just go to this. Whatever. And yes, let's put player ownership on. So if we get a bridge over this as well, let's go for green. Something different. By something different, it's probably the second most common colour I use after grey, but still slightly. It's not grey. It's not that much better, but whatever. Right, get some slip roads that will do. They're not going to be the neatest, most symmetrical, mathematically perfect, whatever. They'll do. That works. I quite like that one actually. Kind of nice long. There we go. Right. So that's a connection there. Then we might also get a connection to the top of Middleton. So we kind of swing round with another bridge. Let's go red. Wow. Going really wild here. So we can do actually. This is on player ownership because I can't be bothered to turn it off. I don't think it matters enough. Okay, that is way too high, really, for my liking. If we just kept it elevated and then brought it... I mean, could we do something like that? Question mark. Let's go orange bridge, go really wild. We could just bring it down like that and have like a different entrance into my hills, although really the road connections on this side are not the best, and I can see why with a hill like this, which somehow we're actually able to get a road up, but not quite sure how. We can kind of... It's got a bit of a tunnel, but if we can kind of swing a road around there as well, that's slightly better connected. Right, and then you know the drill, we've got more slip roads. A bit tight to the previous junction, but whatever. If we build this way, we might be able to get something that works. Why is it not working? It's all there, but then they might not have enough time to switch lanes. Yeah, we can actually do something like try to get it to like... Yeah, no, they're not going to have enough time to merge lanes unless try kind of a bit more of a different layout for this junction, whereby we do a kind of road that snakes up like this. Try to get it to the same height roughly. There we go. And then that, and like hopefully this will work. Yes, we can do that, and reverse it. We can get 2 lanes here, 2 lanes here. Can we upgrade this one to a bigger? No, whatever, that's fine. That junction will do. So then we've still got a dirt road here. Gosh, just realised I turned off player ownership to do stuff in Money Hills and then turn it back on again. These kind of slip roads don't matter as much, but I'm going to turn player ownership off again. And after here, maybe because if they want to upgrade it to an urban road, add more junctions, they can, and I don't actually really care that much. In fact, I kind of want them to slow that road down a bit, so that it doesn't turn into like an absolute really much faster than any other road. Right. Now then. Let's just create an invisible bridge. What type of bridge should we... I know, I can't actually select it. I'd like to select a nice type of bridge to use, but I can't select anything. I didn't realise we were doing bridges. So this, yeah, well, let's stop doing the 124 mile an hour one. Let's go for something different. Why not? There we go. We can bend it round, merge it in, and then wrong way. There we go. Big bridge. I want to do something like this. Let's play around with the bridge styles a bit. Just actually one of the default game ones, right? Is that a viable slip road? Yeah, it kind of is. Let's actually keep that on land. And then can we get it to go into the tunnel? Yeah. If it didn't go into the tunnel, I wouldn't build it because it would just look weird. From this way, we're probably going to have to send one off here. And then send one on back here. And then in between all of that, 2 lanes. And then probably got an opportunity for another junction around here. Then we've got to work out how exactly we're sending it through this area. We could send it straight across on a bridge or something. And up to here. That actually wouldn't be too bad an idea, I don't think. I mean, I wouldn't like to live near it, but at the same time, I think we can build it. And that's all that actually matters in this game, whether you can build a thing. Not whether you would actually like to live next to it in real life. Some more dirt roads. Let's go to the player ownership, just do some upgrades to some of these roads. Come on, autosave. Come on, come on, come on. Also causing a jam on this road here by having too many trucks. There we go, that would do. And maybe this as well. Clearly I have too many trucks on this line. Let's get rid of 5. There we go. Alright, should we have another couple of slip roads on and off? Or do I have any better ideas as to what to do for a junction? We could try something interesting like a double roundabout. Like, if we went for a roundabout. Actually, I kind of want a bigger roundabout. If we went for a big roundabout here, a big roundabout here. Get rid of all the weird roads that we still got remaining. So it's just like this. Hopefully, there we go. Then we can chuck in some slip roads if they will work. That works. That works. Oh, it's not working. That works. There we go. That works. And then I'm tempted to like. The one thing is about this is roundabout lane allocation goes very weird if you use rural roads / highway roads, because you can see both of those lanes are for both directions and it just goes all weird. So I can also anticipate quite a lot of traffic on this road if there isn't already. Quite a lot, so let's do it. Which bit of it does it not like? This bit. Okay, is it to do the junction or the bridge? It's to do with the bridge. Let's see if we can get it through. There we go. Get rid of traffic lights. Are we still in? Player ownership. Let's get some player ownership on this setup. Right. So what I'm now going to do, if that road there does a bit, is I'm actually going to upgrade all of this to urban roads. Just because roundabouts work a lot better when you use urban roads. For every single road as well. So that's going to be 2. We could do this just as a 2. It's a 2-lane roundabout, I think, this one. Do we even need 3 here? I don't think we do, actually. Let's just do 2-lane roundabouts. And we use urban roads because the lane allocations start to get more sensible. And they actually use a roundabout like you're supposed to use a roundabout IRL. So if we just do the tiniest section of this, which how you upgrade a tiny section is you zoom in as much as possible. Which just does slow down the roads a little bit. You zoom in to upgrade the tiniest section possible. And there we go. There we go. I know this will slow down the vehicles, but if you look at all the lane allocations, right, that makes sense, doesn't it? Like, 1 lane off, 1 lane carrying on, you can then switch lanes a bit. Okay, so, back to building this wonderful highway. It is going to go straight towards Cashbury Valley. Let's not make it go for that bit of the tunnel. It was clearly gonna collide when I came to going back the other way. Let's go over. Let's go more like this, and then hopefully I can get the other direction past now. There we go. Right, now we're on a big hill, which is good. We like going on a hill because then we can quite easily send it all on a big bridge over the entire city. And somehow get some junctions in, and hope the junctions aren't absolutely packed with cars. Right. Now, the slight issue is that we need to get above the train line. Actually, that's not too much of an issue. Should we go for some silly bridge, or is that too destructive? It's not actually put down any pillars, I don't think. Yeah, at some point it kind of just gives up on the pillars on those types of bridges. This is Cashbury Valley, so it's just lower down. I'm going to blast straight through it, or straight on top of it. And there is a total of 1 pillar here on one side of the road in the entire section. And we're going to can do some on and off ramps, but it's going to be not the easiest thing. I'm just kind of doing a weird thing, that road. If I can... Yeah, it's going to be too much slope, but if I go back a bit, if I go like this, there we go. Now we just need some an equivalent in the other direction. So if we in the other direction actually make our own road, and therefore we're not using the urban road, we can do this. I actually found it works very well when you come in at an angle like this to get a good connection, although too much slope might be a bit of an issue here. Yeah. It is, yeah. Slopes are never easy on this map, and that is one of the challenges of it. Right, up as much as possible then. Yeah, right, then you go like this. When you've kind of got this 45-ish degree angle, it becomes remarkably easy to do slip roads like this. You could actually upgrade that one to be like that. There we go. Why not? Right, and then it's going to plough, well, bridge straight across here. I was going to say plough straight through. We haven't actually destroyed much. But, let's... Okay, so I think this is where we might be coming uphill a bit now. In terms of the cities, we might want to go up a little bit more in terms of the bridge. Because the city's coming up a bit, it might be slightly easier to do junctions. I'm not sure how many I want to do. To be honest, I'm not sure I want this to be like a major traffic route. I kind of want to bypass the place while also going straight through the middle of it. Okay, so this is basically now going straight across it. There we go. There we go. This bit here is... Ooh, God, that's interesting. We could put a junction there. It's going to be a bit weird because we're just going to chuck a slip road off, chuck one back on again. Could do a road like this, but I'm not going to. And then if we just do one off there, we can, I think, do one back on there. There we go. And then we just kind of dump them into this neighbourhood. Feels like we should probably do another one kind of in this area here. This is where slopes are quite steep. But we can get a slip road off there. We can get one. We can get it at a good angle. We can get one on there. And then, can we get one? Just do like that. No. Can we get one to do like that? Yes. And where can we get one back up from? There. Seems just about possible if I get precisely the right spot. There we go. Well, sort of works. And the good thing about kind of staggering the junction in terms of which roads it goes up onto is that the roads that will be congested with traffic going off will not be the same as the roads congested with traffic going on, which means actually it might be a little bit more efficient. Although I am literally dumping cars into the middle of a suburban neighbourhood, which is not necessarily the best idea, or at least not necessarily going to make me popular with the residents. But like I said, this game isn't about creating a place that's actually nice, it's about getting stuff built. In terms of getting stuff built, we're doing a decent job. So we can then come down now alongside here. And do we feel like another junction? Yeah, I think, well, I do, and I'm the one who makes decisions around here. I do not like how it's trying to not avoid making a bridge there. There we go. Let's make it kind of awkwardly go up just so it doesn't avoid building a bridge. This is being annoying now. Make a connection. There we go. I am actually going to run alongside to there. And then we're going to go back on here. I'm trying to think, why would they actually make the turn right? They wouldn't, so we can keep it going now. I was thinking you could do a road like this. Why would they make that turn, honestly? With where we're going to take this highway to, right? Can we get over the top of this train line? We will be able to if we go straight back up again. There we go, slightly offset bridges. That's the way we're going to get over a railway line we're not quite going perpendicular to. And then we're going to have to kind of somehow end this. Or we could create some really weird junction setup. I mean, we've got a kind of stub highway here. We could bring that up and then round and then bring it kind of across here. So if we did like... do a large 3-lane which kind of splits into 2s and 2s. I don't love this, but it's not the worst junction. Let's do something with this. And then I'm going to make this... I'm going to change up the design of the junction a little bit. So these roads are quite tightly bending to connect up or whatever. There we go. So this is going to be one. No, that can't be 1 lane. Why can't we upgrade it back down to 1 lane? This is where these junctions are quite annoying. There we go. That can be 1 lane. That can't be 1 lane for whatever reason. Can now. Let's actually, I'm going to do this. It's a bit of a weird layout. So I did that the wrong side of the road. So what I'm going to do then is have another junction straight afterwards. Just kind of try to keep the roads to the same level. In fact, we could just do something like this. If I did this, I could connect that into there, do that like that. This is going to be an interesting junction setup. And then, as we continue this straight on, fire nice. Let's make it orange bridge here. It's going to have to split off at some point because that bit there is quite far away. And then, well, we're actually going to have to do 3 lane at some point as well. Now let's build these as 3-lane parallel roads. Because we are going to make this a 3-lane highway. I'm just setting up a junction, but forgetting what I'm actually trying to do. If I can get like that as far as there would be good. Oh no, wrong. Road. Oh, there's fine. Right. This is the one that's not magically fast. Right, and then we can get a lane that basically just swings around the edge here. This side's going to be easier. What we essentially need to do is merge into here. And then this can turn into 2 lanes. Okay, then we can do a lane from here that will probably easier to go down the tunnel actually. And then it's going to pop up over here if it's possible. If I use the N key, it is. And there we go. That bridge bit there is not behaving. There we go, now it is. Then that bit can turn into 2 lanes. And then we're going to get the 2 lanes, the central 2 lanes just barreling through the area. And then we're somehow going to create a junction that involves the other 2 lanes going off. But yeah, this whole area is a bit convoluted and congested, and even though I don't know what I was thinking when I was building all of it. So, just 2 lanes for now. And then, what if we turn this into an actual roundabout rather than a messy kind of half roundabout? And what if we... Can we get the railway line to go a different height? I don't see why not. With that, well, we can mess stuff up by doing it, but it will work. Let's see what we can do with the railway line. a bit less of an absolute nightmare. It's kind of a roundabout, except it's two ways, meaning it's not actually a roundabout. We're going to turn it into one, but first we're going to grade separate the railway. I reckon we'll just go back as far as there. Can probably, if we scroll through all our tracks, we might be able to get it to. If we just get it to kind of, we get the height right, and then we could kind of work on the bends a bit better. It's not exactly. Also, it's come down, and then is that really the height we need to go to? That's not actually too bad. Let's maintain 75. You know what? That works. We can get signals back in now, and we don't have to push any trains out of the way. Just do a bit of a kind of roller coaster where it goes down here, and then probably no, it doesn't actually go back up again. No, that's fine. Right, so if we first of all change the trajectory of this road, we're also going to make all of this an urban road. Though, seemingly with player ownership, because I can't be bothered to switch it off. It's fine to do urban roads, because we're coming into an urban area anyway. But yeah, so you can actually keep a lane running alongside. If we just try to get a slip lane there, we might have to just do the little teeny weeny bit of urban road to get the lanes to behave. Right then, same thing with this road here. Let's lower the land a little bit just so we can get it to actually turn into a bridge. We've got money after all, we can spend it. And we can get from here, or from here maybe. A little, it's not actually turning into an urban road. Now it is, I mean it matters less for merging I think. And then guess what we've got now, a one lane. And then we're kind of doing this like weird setup where we do one lane here. I'm not actually sure what I'm supposed to be doing here, trying to do here, but I've just realised as well, this road here, some of it bits the wrong way round because it wasn't actually built as a roundabout. There we go, that's better. So kind of doing these as like, yeah, frontage roads basically is what they are, but I need to do it for more than one junction for them to actually make sense. So let's just right back up to 2 lanes now. That kind of does a slightly different kind of parallel if you make it go 2 lanes. As if you just build it as 1 lane and upgrade the bits that need to be 2 to 2. Then you might need to not do that like that. You might need to try not to do that sort of thing either, in terms of actually building the thing. Right, there we go. Is it possible to bring it down and then actually... Oh yeah, we can do that. And then a tiny bit of upgrade to single lane road. So with this one. I'm going to upgrade to 2 lanes. I'm actually going to bring... We'll continue as 1 lane here, while down we get from here maybe 1 lane off to there. And then we're actually just going to merge in. 1 lane to become 3 lanes. And then we're going to get a road across here. It's nice how it kind of replicates the nice red bridge style. We can do this. We can then do a nice thing here with the red bridge. We can obviously keep these as 2 lanes and then do a junction here and then can merge in as 1 lane. Then we might have to rebuild this bit because they're getting a bit too close together to be both upgraded to 3 lanes. Yeah, I kind of like that cool frontage road sort of area. Bit fair. There we go. That should work now. Let's press play. So this is kind of a bit of incomplete highway here. To 2 stubs there. That will eventually go kind of round to here. So basically serve cash for the money foot on its way down, and possibly this side of Cashbury Valley as well, possibly with a branch out to Dollar Peninsula. So we'll go back round this way and probably have another link over here. But I think that's good. Right, let's have a look at some of the worst situations of bus line deserts, as I'll call them. So we could do with a bus route through here. Now these bus routes don't actually have to be particularly good. They just have to exist and connect to other forms of transport, which could be other bus lines, other tram lines, train lines, whatever. So for example, if we did stops here, brought it, which actually that main road's congested, so we'll get a stop there, which does still cover the station and the tram line. Right, so we go up there, then we go up to there. I'm going to press pause just so it becomes a bit less laggy as I'm doing this. So let's just kind of wiggle up through. Why am I getting a refund for building these? Just like a hack to make infinite money based on these bus stops I got off the workshop. Quite possibly. Right, I feel like if we just went through Cashbury East, so we are currently here. That's good enough for there. We could serve those bus stops there, and then kind of just serve this area a bit. Right. Not the greatest bus line ever created, but it will serve more of this city that's not served yet, because the place keeps expanding. Actually, yeah, that bus stop there connects to other forms of transport very well, so that'll do for the terminus. What's that green? Oh, is that truck route that's the same colour as the passenger route? I think it probably is. That's always a bit annoying when that happens. Right. So, what's this? It's Cashbury Bus 1 and 2, so this is probably Cashbury Bus 3. So, we have a lovely little road depot there. We might change things up a bit with a right eclipse Gemini one. Oh my god, those buses have a high capacity. Do we want those? What about a right street deck? Why not? Still have quite a big capacity. 10 for now, I think. It's not actually a particularly long line. What's this? Cashbury Valley bus. Okay, we're not invading on that line numbering system. Right. I think Moneytown's fairly well covered by public transport. There are little bits, but I don't think it's that bad. Right, this bit of money on sea is bad. So if we sent a bus from a stop here to turn around, that connects to other bus lines, and train stations. Yeah, it does connect to that, good. Right, and then went round here and then went around the top. Now, I may or may not actually have the mod installed where you can see. Oh, why am I not just clicking on this? Takes a while to load, but you can see with this mod where it does not have connections to public transport. And I totally forgot I had that installed. Right, let's carry on. Build some bus stops. Looking at that mod, a data view mod thing has given me no regrets about what I'm currently doing. So let's carry on with this bus line. Does that cover this station at all? Yes, it does. Okay, that's good for interchange. And then we can go over to this station here. And then terminate on a loop around that bus stop there. Right, so I think these are Money on Sea Bus 1 and 2, so if we create a new line it would be called Money on Sea Bus 3. And it basically just kind of does a bit of a semicircle around the bits of town that we're not serving so well with public transport, which is the east side, although at the moment it's the bottom of the screen. So this is Money on Sea Bus 3. That kind of rhymes, right. Where's a lovely bus depot, or road depot, whatever. Got lots of different buses we can go for. What about an Enviro 200 MMC? That looks cool, because these are smaller buses than the last ones we did, 15. There we go. That'll work. How's the traffic around here doing? I do not even want to look at it, honestly. Let's just get some more bus routes in. Right, now I'm going to use this mod really wisely here. If it loads, it does usually take a bit of a while. So, which areas seem to have a lot of red? What's the most red area of the map? Yeah, like I said, it takes a while to load in and gets quite laggy. Well, can we... Yeah, see, oh my god, Dollar Peninsula is bad. Moneyopolis, let's do 2 more bus routes. Let's turn this mod off. So, if we... I'm going to do a small bridge here, but to be honest, I don't want to go too far at the centre, because we've got a nice bus line already here that we can connect to. So if we start... here, that connects to that bus route there. Nicely, there we go, you see they connect. And therefore we get good onward connections from the bus line. Oh, why did I just build a highway? I did not mean to do that, come on. Normal urban street, let's go for let's turn off player ownership. Yeah, because it was on player ownership, yes, when I built it I have to go to player ownership, no. So then turn it off again as I'm upgrading. If you're just building roads the first time, if you put it on keep, it will be no by default, because keep just means default setting. Right, autosave coming in our way again. And come on, autosave. There we go. And then, yeah, it's basically about just covering as much of this area as possible. Also, the main loop around the town's only in one direction. This is 2 directions, basically, because it's going to be a back and forth route. Right, we can cover that bus stop there on the main loop by stopping there, and then we're just going to, I mean, ideally, we hook up some roads here. So we can kind of run a bit of a loop around this area. There we go. Right, so new route. Got loads of truck unload stops around these areas. Not totally consistent, I realise, with my bus stop spacing, but whatever. Also, because maybe I literally missed one here. That's where I was thinking, oh, that's a bit of a gap. Maybe because I literally missed one. There we go. There. There we go. I think this is literally... It's Moniopolis bus. I think this is all the same route, actually. So really, this is Moniopolis bus 2. And I'm not going to bother to rename the other one to Moniopolis bus 1. It's not really much point. Right, road depot. What cool workshop buses can we get for this? Let's actually, yeah, let's get just a right clips, Gemini, Hull Heritage bus, why not? 8 buses, it's not the longest line, I don't think. And once again, I'm always modifying these things between episodes anyway, right. And then Dollar Town, Dollar Peninsula area. First of all, this bus route looks a little... Oh my gosh, those buses are old. I was thinking that bus route looks a little busy. Those buses are 61 years old. Yeah, let's replace them. Right, so they have 42 capacity. Even like some of the smallest buses we've got right now. 39. What would our right street light be? Let's go up to a right street light. Bristol. Why not? Bit of higher capacity, right, and then streets we could do with a bridge somewhere like here for the bus route to work. Might also be good, and build a bridge here, though this might be a little awkward. If I did a... And like, I think the problem is that that junction is too close to the water and too low down to actually work properly. So, I can do something like this. Let's just rebuild it a bit. Right. And maybe it'd be nice to get across the railway line. Good thing is that it will literally be a very easy bridge here. Right. So, if we did a couple of stops here, that connects to the train station and that bus stop on that bus route there, with which no longer has 61-year-old buses. And then once we come over the bridge, I am going to do a very quick loop around here. And by very quick, by that I mean I am building it so quickly. I'm not even paying that much attention where I'm putting the stops. That'll do. So then come over here. I'm getting a refund every time I do this, is why you hear the kind of cha-ching noise. Yeah, there's a bit of a traffic congestion there. Right. Let's just kind of snake down here. And then this is close enough to the existing bus route that if we... Let's first put a couple of stops there and then do a street connection there, because I think covers some of those, and then we don't have to cover every single building. I'm not bothered about that. Let's just do a good job of it. Right. What buses should we get for this? Maybe an Enviro 400 MMC. These Enviro buses don't have that higher capacity, to be honest. So once again, we'll get 15. Each one's lower capacity, but more is actually sometimes good, because it prevents overcrowding a bit more. But yeah, they're workshop buses. I may not have actually placed that bus stop in, but whatever, it can share it with the other line. Well, I definitely did place that bus stop in, just not right now. When we built the original line, but whatever. There we go. So that was Dollar Peninsula bus, so this is, new one is in a very similar colour, if not the exact same. Dollar Peninsula bus 2. There we go. buses on that already. So yeah, let's go back into play mode and hope that on the one hand traffic gets a little less bad because we've got more connections to places. Yeah, this is going to be a busy road in if it's the only road in. I mean, like, come on, why can't you get a road? Let's sort out the roads in this area in the next episode, in one of the coming episodes when we actually do highways around here. But for now, let's get some more road connections. But yeah, hopefully, well, hopefully the new roads are beneficial and take away congestion, not add congestion. That's a bit of a bump. Totally unnecessary, but I'm going to keep it in, because why not? I mean, I can think of reasons why not, but I'm lazy. And yeah, new roads, new options. There's a truck turning onto that. Don't think it's using it, but yeah. You can see there are vehicles which find this beneficial. Oh, okay. So to get the food there, it's actually quickest to drive up there and then snake back down there. Interesting. There's then, yeah, the pink line goes down to there. But yeah, because it goes... oh, it goes through that tunnel there for trucks. So yeah, it wouldn't be quick for it to use the highway, but whatever this vehicle route is, does actually use it for a bit and then goes across there. But yeah, hopefully, with more public transport connectivity, fewer buildings disconnected, that will mean fewer cars on the road. But still, I've got highways for them. And if you just look at town statistics, size Canterbury Centre is the busiest. And yeah, it's 240% growth from private transport, basically cars, but it could be a lot more. But then again, yeah, target population, it's not going to get that high. It's just too crammed in, basically. But yeah, I'm interested in like areas like this are a bit more reaching their target population. Which is probably because I placed that down as a huge town in Canterbury Centre, just like Money Town Centre. Whereas all the others are a bit... Why is that declining? Missions are bad, but it's not too bad. Anyway, I think we've done some good stuff. And yeah, so hopefully everything runs smoothly. And I will see you in the next episode. Goodbye.